right, today we're going to go over the 3 forms of compensation for the One Real Mortgage program. So if you are a realtor, you can get compensated on your own deals, you can get compensated on doing deals for others, and you can get compensated on building a team. And we're going to go over each one of these numbers, and we can go over the loan officer perspective in another video, but we're going to go over for what it takes for a real estate agent who gets their license and does some volume, okay? So the first way is to monetize your own transactions, your personal transactions. So you don't need to be a loan expert. You need to, the simple steps are take the 20-hour course, pass the class, get licensed in your state, get onboarded with One Real Mortgage, and then you'll be paired up with an internal loan partner who is the expert. You will be provided with a referral, a loan application link that is tied directly to you. So the process will look very much the same as if you were handing your buyer off and making introductions to a loan officer who was not in your network, who you weren't affiliated with, and who you didn't get compensated with. But it will look very much the same to the client. And so you send them the link, you say, hey, we need to get pre-approved. Here's Frank, meet Betty, and you put them together and away you go, okay? The internal loan officer is doing a majority of the work. You still step in on places where there's a challenge escalation, keep the deal together, just like you would do normally, all right? So you can stand to gain the common, you can negotiate this with them, but the common way that we've been doing this is 40% of the loan compensation going to the referrer and to the real estate agent with the license that's handing over the deal, and then the internal loan officer gets 60%. That's just on the first level. So I've done that twice already. $400,000 deal, I made an extra $2,000 per deal, okay? But I didn't get in this to make a couple $1,000s here and there, okay? Although a lot of you in the market are hurting, and this could help cover back your splits, your team fees, go back into marketing. $2,000 extra per transaction could mean a lot for you and your business. So that's just number one, and that can be lucrative. But the next one is if you actually have your mortgage license, you can do deals for other real estate agents, for aspiring homeowners. You can do pre-quals, you can do refinancing, you can do reverse mortgages, and you get paid the same on each of these for basically handing them over to and working with your internal loan officer. Now, it's not required to just be referring these deals. You could do the loans yourself, learn how to process and get the full commission, and that's 1.25 bips, but it's not necessary. So that part appealed to me. I wanted to stay in my lane, stay focused on real estate and marketing and such. And so, but now we're going to talk about the Level Up program. And this is really why I am involved with One Real Mortgage, because this Level Up program is like, they call it, it's Level Up. It's not supposed to be called Rev Share, but it looks a lot like Rev Share from like early Real days, early EXP days. And that's already been done in the real estate space, where they were a handful of agents, and they're out there building teams, and it started off with a few hundred and has grown into 75,000 to 100,000 agents at EXP. Real has 27,000. That was on the real estate side. So I see the same thing happening on the mortgage side. So One Real Mortgage only has about 100 people in the business, and not all of them are even active. So I really see this as history repeating itself and a window of opportunity to build an organization that volumes will flow through into large teams and to a massive passive income. So here's how the Level Up program works, okay? The players that you have ROs, which are called Real Originates. They're people like me I was a realtor, got my mortgage license, and now I am legally and able to do mortgages. The next role is called a loan officer. They're basically a part-time loan officer because they don't qualify by volume. We like to see for full-time loan officers that they're doing at least 2 deals a month. They have 8 million in volume annually. Then that would get them over the full-time threshold. So then we have full-time loan officers. Now, in the Level Up program, you are only compensated when a full-time loan officer does a loan, okay? So there are essentially 5 tiers to this, okay? There's level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and here you are up here, okay? So in order to open up these different levels, you need to place a MLO. That is an RO, or a loan officer. So that's a real estate agent with a license, counts to open these up. So you need 1 of these to open up tier 1. You need 5 of these to open up tier 2, and that means that means if you were to sponsor them, that'd be 1, and then you need to sponsor 2, and all the way out to 5 to open up tier 2, okay? And that goes up to 10 to open up 10 out here to open up your tier 3, and then 15, and then 20 for 4 and 5. And what you get compensated for each of these is basically what's called bips, or it's basically percentages of the loan. So for level 1, it's 12 bips. For level 2, it's 8 bips. And then 3, 4, 5, which is 3, 2, and 1.5. And how you can calculate that is basically times the loan volume. So if you had 1 worth of loan, which is not a lot, it's 0.012 times 1 million, okay? And so here you are. So here's the structure of how we want to build this. So here's you. So we want to sponsor somebody, an LO, or basically an RO or an LO. Right here will open up this tier 1, okay? Now, the closer that a full-time LO is to you, upwards in the organization, the greater the compensation, okay? So my strategy is I am welcoming ROs to get converted them over to get licensed, get onboarded, and start making money off of their own deals. And then also getting into their sphere of influence, maybe bringing over their loan officer friend that would qualify for a full-time loan officer. So that's step 1. So essentially, we want to have as many ROs as possible on this tier 1. Okay, and maybe it's a loan officer, ROs and LOs. And then we want to get into, and then we're going to work with each of them to get an LO or RO. Okay, and that would be your tier 2. Like that, and so forth. Now, we're going to continue to do this until the goal, really the objective and the way to optimize the system is to have as many loan or ROs as high as you can, as many LOs as you can, as close to you as you can. And then let's say the strategy here is, let's say that all of these people in your business are in California, okay? So what you would do is the moment that you found an LO, you would work with each one of these ROs to feed them volume. You'd feed them volume. You want to max out this LO. And then the same thing goes for if we are at tier 3, tier 4, and here's tier 5. Okay? Now, if you have an LO on tier 2, then you get 8 bips. So if you were to have an LO that did, and you, in this segment, tier 2, you sold $10 million, which is not a lot. That's 25 loans times $400. And because let's say you had another LO over here, you had these ROs doing deals, you would make $80,000, okay? For $10 million worth of volume passively, okay? Now, if they were on your tier 1, you'd make $120,000 on $10 million worth of volume. And that same thing applies to all the way down to your 5th level. So if this thing grows and spreads out, and you've got an LO down here, full-time LO, that's doing volume, they do 10 million, it's going to be another 15 grand per LO that does of $10 million worth of volume down here on your tier 5. So the goal is to have an LO as close to you as possible, do as much volume, pump volume to them, help the others do the same. That is how you generate massive passive income with the One Real Mortgage Level Up program. And that's the part that I'm excited about. And that's the part that I'm looking forward to people to raise their hand, me to work with. I've already got this underway. We're building a massive team, and it's spreading throughout the country. And as we open up more states and we get more licenses, this is going to continue to grow, and this is going to build into a enormous organization similar to what you see with Real and with the teams with Real and with EXP. So that's how it works. My name is Michael Valley. Go ahead and click the link below.